Honorable KT Hammond has been here. We'll try and get some understanding of all the things he's saying. He's not very excited about what the speaker is doing.
The first thing was supposed to be this: the decision, the ruling that I made on the particular day has been overset, has been stayed by the Supreme Court, which interprets the Constitution, interprets what we do over here. Accordingly, the status quo ante should be reverted to. So we would know that we are going back to this. Why should the NDC guys rush to go and sit on the side of the NDC bank? What is that? No, but that is not the point. Where were they sitting? Where were the NDC people sitting? No, you are not listening to me. You are not listening to me. Let's get the fact right. Where were the NDC guys sitting? Is that where they're supposed to be sitting? But you see, we have a convention. We have a convention. It's not argument nonsense. You guys are not listening. Supreme Court is speaking. It is not for us members of Parliament on the majority side to be arguing at any point. This is a matter. This is foreclosed. It is completely foreclosed. Supreme Court is speaking. That is the end of the matter.
The Speaker of Parliament says when it comes to sitting arrangements, that is not his business. He says we should come and sit anywhere and do the business.
Listen, the orders of the Supreme Court were directed specifically to the Speaker. It was the Speaker. It wasn't the leadership. It wasn't the clerk. It wasn't the leadership which made that ruling, that decision. It was the Speaker of Parliament who unconstitutionally made a proclamation, whatever it is that he said the last time. The Supreme Court is told him that he was wrong. Restore matters to what they were before you did that.
Line of action for the MPP.
Well, we will cite you for contempt. We will cite the Speaker for contempt. Watch the space.
Your side did not come. Where is the business committee? You should have sat yesterday.
Let's get first and first. Yes. First and first, there is a ruling made by him. The ruling is been overset. You're forcing me to repeat myself so many times. The Supreme Court is spoken. We want the decision of the Supreme Court to be respected.
Speaker acknowledged
that what?
Of the Supreme Court
and that what?
He did say that he has been served with copies of the judgment of the Supreme Court.
And so what I said, it is not a question of acknowledgement. It's a question of implementation of the decision of the Supreme Court.
But no MPs, none of the 4 MPs has been blocked. None of the 4 MPs have been blocked from coming to Parliament. None of them have come in here and they've been blocked from accessing the chamber of Parliament.
You are not listening. You are not listening. I think I'm going to have to say this for the last time because it looks like some of you have become impervious to what is that. Listen to this. The Speaker made a ruling. It was unconstitutional. It was unlawful. By any account, it was illegal. The Supreme Court, contrary to the assertion by he himself and some members of the minority who keep proclaiming from high roofs and high heaven that the Parliament is a master of its own rules and regulations. The Supreme Court is told Babi and Parliament that you are not. There is an institution which is the master of the rules of Parliament, and that this is what the law is. That you cannot make the decision, the proclamation that you made. I call it proclamation because you think he's a king, he's whatever, he's a lord unto himself. But you made a ruling. It is not right. Supreme Court is telling you it is not right. Go back to that house. Can I not complete? I should complete. Go back there. Honorable. To do what? Yes. It will be the interest of Ghanaians for the Speaker. For the Speaker to respect the ruling of the Supreme Court. Come back to this side rather than continuously adjourning. He is disrespecting the ruling of the Supreme Court.
The 4 MPs have been disallowed from coming in.
You are not listening.
No, when did any of the 4 MPs come in and they were asked not to come in? Because today the second deputy speaker's aide has been in the chamber, but the second deputy speaker himself has not been inside.
You may want to take some medication. It has no point shouting when you are ignorant of the matter. What it is this: it's not for the 4 people to simply show up. The Speaker has made a ruling barring them from coming to the Parliament. Supreme Court is reversed it. It is for the Speaker to sit up there and tell the House that his decision has been reversed, and so we say.
If you are not seated.
You say you are going to cite the Speaker for contempt.
Not properly.
I mean, you are going to.
How would the Speaker reverse his decision?
Again, I'm saying that You either want to take leave of your senses or you listen to what I am saying. If you are not prepared to listen to what I'm saying and just listen to your own voices, we're not going to get anywhere. Look at the policy of cameras. Everybody is listening, but you don't seem to be listening and concentrating on what I'm saying. It is not a question of our presence in there or not. It is for the speaker. If it is only about 100 people who are coming to the room there, minority and the majority will constitute the composition of the House in its entirety. Whichever comes in there, provided that we have enough to constitute the business of constitute the House and then start business of the House, we should do it. So even if he had 99, which is 1/3 of what to form the quorum, it was for the speaker to make the announcement in the House that his ruling has been stayed, has been overset. Accordingly, minority back to where you were, majority back to where you have been. That is the simplest solution that we're talking about.
You say you're going to cite him for contempt.
Yes.
When are you doing this?
Watch the space.
Watch the space. I mean, finally, the
Yes.
speaker says that the majority has failed to convene a business meeting yesterday,
you see,
so that they can put the business for this emergency.
I keep saying that first things first. First is for the speaker to declare in that House the same way as Cathedral, the same way he did to make that. Well, you can keep on making that foolish statement. It doesn't take you anywhere. But what it is that it is for the speaker to sit up there and make the pronouncement that the Supreme Court is already overset his decision, and accordingly we should come back and sit where we sit. Then the business of the House.
Thank you very much. Honorable K.T. Hammond has been quite vociferous in his opposition to what the Speaker has done. He says that the NPP majority are going to cite the Speaker of Parliament for contempt. I mean, you heard the Honorable K.T. Hammond says they will cite the Speaker of Parliament for contempt, and in particular some of the conduct that your colleagues have been stating by the majority side. He says that is all an affront to the ruling of the Speaker of the Supreme Court.
Yeah, thank you. Honorable K.T. Hammond has shown a lot of disrespect to this House. How can he use those words, nonsense, and all of those disrespects and all of those things on Speaker? That pride is too much in this House. You see, the Speaker has recalled all of us from our constituencies. We are here to do the work as members of Parliament. Why didn't they come? They could have just come and show anything they want to show, say anything they want to say, but you don't stay outside of the chamber and come out and come and insult the.
Right. Thank you, ma'am. Let me see if I can get Honorable Haruna Idrisu briefly for a word about all that is happening in Parliament, and the House has just been adjourned indefinitely. Leader, I mean, you've served in leadership for so long. What is going on? I mean, you at the start of all this when you started this 4 seats vacancy matters, and you've caused this constitutional crisis the Chief Justice has referenced. He said there's a constitutional crisis that Parliament is not sitting. The House has started today, has adjourned indefinitely again. Leader. Lecture them. Live on Joy News City, another channel.
I think it's important that we recognize as a country that the 3 co-equal organs of government perform distinct and separate functions and must respect the mandate, power, and authority of the other. The matter before us may border on constitutional interpretation depending upon who invokes the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. But clearly, what is before us, given precedent, is a matter under Article 99 of the Constitution, which in my view strongly belongs to the High Court as a forum on whether or not to declare a seat vacant or not vacant. But those of you who have studied Article 97 well, you must read the text well. The text reads, a member shall vacate his seat. Simple. A member shall vacate his seat. The onus is on that member. I'm not even too sure whether it's for the Speaker to declare that seat vacant. It says a member shall vacate his seat if he. And when you read the he, I have read from persons in government, even from the learned Attorney General, seeking to talk about the future. The provisions in Article 97 does not only talk about the future, it talks about the past. When it uses the word, if he was elected, it didn't say if he is elected, if he was elected. And for me, I haven't revised my constitutional law lately, and particularly the rules of interpretation as I should do. But basic, give words their ordinary common sense meaning. It is only when the ordinary common sense meaning leads to absurdity that you look for their secondary meaning. I do not see how the text in Article 97 can be compromised. More importantly, many of you will recall that when I had the rare opportunity to lead the minority, I kept warning then President Akufo-Addo and Professor Michael Kwe as Speaker that watch the precedent you set and watch the consequences of the precedent you set. This is a consequence of a precedent.
Right. So that is my former minority leader, Dr. Harun Idrisu, who says that this all consequent of the precedent that has been set. How you guys are going back to campaign. The speaker's adjourned proceedings indefinitely. You're expected to go back to campaign. What do you think should happen now?
Basically, we expected that business will go on. We suspended our campaign to come and do business for the government and to be able to let the nation have its best share. Coming in also means we should come and think of the next quarter's budget, among other things, for the nation. These are important things that workers would like to hear. The very people who have invited us to come and do business have not been able to come out with a business for the meeting. They have since not met the business committee to let us know the agenda for the day. Let me use that agenda here. We don't have an order paper that shows that this is how we are going to the business we are going to transact for the day. So how can you continue to deceive the public? Before this day, 2 days or yesterday, the business committee should have met. The business committee comprises of the minority side and the majority side. Then they will draw the agenda, let me use the word, the agenda for the public understanding for the day. This has not happened. Since morning you have been here as a witness. We have been here. It was only Honorable Atachia who came and just walked around and we left. Then our brother Pierre Kubi came shortly. The media were on him. Only for Afenyo and other things to appear just at the last minute, just not up to 30 minutes ago. And the speaker was already there. He can't find them. So if you see the pride of our leadership is becoming too high. They should sober down. You see, we have to build consensus in this parliament. From day one, the MPP has never been majority in this 8th parliament. You are 137. NDC is 137. You only had an advantage. The independent candidate said he was going to do business with you. And that is why you are a majority group. Why do you continue to deceive Ghanaians? Let's be reminding Ghanaians. MPP is not majority in parliament. It's a hung parliament. But the independent candidate, Honorable Asiama, then independent candidate, decided to do business with them. So you don't go on the high skies doing what you want as if you have control of parliament. No, they should sober down for government business to go on. Thank you very much. Thank you.
So we'll do one last interview before we go back to the Justice 100, where we expect that the NPP side will be addressing a news conference pretty shortly. Honorable Comrade Donko, certainly these matters cannot keep going on. There are elders in the room. People need to sit around the table and resolve this. The Parliament of Ghana is not sitting. The Chief Justice said that's a constitutional crisis. She's worried. The Parliament is not sitting. MPs, you don't seem to care about that.
Well, I don't think we have a constitutional crisis. I sincerely don't think we have a constitutional crisis. Parliament works through our standing orders. Our standing orders provide that the party or parties or the caucus with the highest number of MPs forms the majority caucus. The Speaker implemented Article 97 of the Constitution, and declare that by that his ruling were the majority. The the Supreme Court has asked the Speaker's decision to be stayed. Unfortunately, in Parliament, the Speaker cannot come and announce that there's a stay. It has to go by a motion and a resolution. The Speaker's ruling can only be overturned or amended or changed by a resolution. And for us, that is so critical. So they should have to come and work through the processes of Parliament to stay that. Until that is done, we are the majority and we are prepared to work. We are here in our numbers. It is the MPP caucus that is unable to marshal its truth, unable to win any debate on the floor, and therefore have a resolution passed.
Thank you, Honorable Comrade Donko. So that is the situation. We will hand over back to the studio and go back to the Job 600. We expect the NPP parliamentary leadership to address Alexander Afenyo-Markin, Habib Idrisu, and the others to sort of let us know what their next line of action is. Are they going to trigger again an emergency sitting of the House that should go through the motions again for 14 days? MPs would have to go back to their constituencies and campaign. A lot of issues to chew on. But the Speaker of Parliament, for those of you who just joined us, has again adjourned the sitting of Parliament indefinitely. And there is no end in sight because he says the House did not have any business to transact. The NPP MPs who requested a sitting of Parliament did not show up in the chamber. They did not come here to as it were, do the business that we have seen. And we expect that once they explain to us what exactly they intend to do, we'll take it from there. So take it over from the studio. We'll get back to the Job 600 where the NPP MPs are expected to hold a news conference.
Thank you, Kweko Asante, for bringing us a wrap of what exactly happened in Parliament. So we just told you the Speaker has adjourned sitting indefinitely once again. Just a brief wrap. Katie Hammond, we spoke to earlier, served notice that indeed they would cite the Speaker for contempt. And that's something we're looking forward to. We know that the MP caucus in Parliament, they're yet to address a press conference, and we're looking forward to that as to their next line of action. They called for an emergency sitting. They failed to show up on the House. The NDC caucus in Parliament, they occupy the majority aisle of the floor, the chamber. And so we're looking at how all this will play out. The Supreme Court ruling, we're yet to hear the Speaker officially comment on this. We heard from Comrade Donko there, just giving us processes that would have to take effect on the floor. So someone would have to move a motion and then they would have to agree on the Supreme Court's ruling, and that would then take effect. Still, the NPP caucus in Parliament, they're yet to comment on that. We know that the NDC caucus in Parliament, they are still carrying themselves as the majority in the House. So this whole back and forth rages on, the controversy rages on as to who exactly is majority. We're yet to find out. Well, we are your election headquarters. We'll be taking you to Job 600 when that press conference by the NPP caucus takes effect. We know that Alexander Afenyo-Markin would be addressing the media. We're looking forward to that and how it will all play out. Well, my name is Faustina Safo, and up next would be Joy News Today. We'll be giving you updates as to what exactly has happened throughout the country, and also give you updates as at when that press conference by the NPP caucus commences. Thank you for listening.